Hey everyone. Um, so I'm back. I have not made a YouTube video in quite some time. It's been quite a while. I do post frequently on my Instagram channel with reels, but I really don't like that. I'm not able to really go into details and more depth into the topics that I want to talk about there, which I usually do in the writing below, but Instagram also does not allow a lot of space for writing. So I think I'm going to start making my YouTube videos again. So here I am. So I do want to announce that I think I put an announcement already on my YouTube channel that I'm now a certified hypnotherapist. and so I do hypnotherapy, and this is actually why I want to make this video because I want it to be surrounding our limited beliefs and unconscious programming that we have, and why it's important to be aware of those things and to be able to change those things. So let me bring it back to what the purpose of this video is. So if you're someone like me who in the past has chosen, when I say chosen, you don't think you've chosen them, but really we do. We choose these relationships that probably were not the best for us, and we're drawn to these individuals who, you know, felt very familiar and it felt like they were a good match for us, but they turned out to be incredibly like abusive or narcissistic or toxic or not good for us in multiple ways. And so what's happening there at a subconscious level is that we are primed to want to be with those type of people, and that is because we have a belief system that has been created as children. So whether it is our first experience with our parent, oftentimes it could be a daughter with her father or a son with his mother. That first relationship we have with our parent doesn't have to be that way, and it doesn't have to be specific to any type of gender, but that relationship that we have with our parent will create this pattern and belief system in our brains essentially, and it creates these neural pathways. And it doesn't even have to be our own relationship with them. It can also be the relationship that we viewed and experienced between our parents. So their definition, their the way that love played out for them, the dynamic that occurred between your parents will now become your base programming, whether you want it to or not. It has now become your base programming on how all the other relationships will be in your life. You might think, no, that's not true, but I'm sorry. That's just how it is. We have no control over that. We are conditioned and programmed by various things around us, whether it's our parents, our peers, our families, our systems, our societal systems, our school systems. Everything that is around us is always conditioning us in one way or another. That's why, as adults, we need to decide where we have to be attentive to those things and see what we're being conditioned by. Like the media, for instance, is like the prime suspect here that constantly manipulates and primes us, programs us, conditions us over and over with this repetitiveness, with the repetition and sensationalizing of things creates programming in our brain, so that without our awareness of this, it ends up submitting belief systems and programming and conditioning in our unconscious mind, so that we operate based off this pattern unbeknownst to us because it's been conditioned out within us. And that's the thing about stuff in the unconscious. The stuff that's in our unconscious, we have no awareness of it. So you might think like that's not true, but it is true. Unfortunately, and you have to understand that you have no idea what is in your unconscious mind. You have no concept of what's in there. You only have the capacity and the awareness of what is in your conscious mind. That is all you have. You have no knowledge of what is in your unconscious mind, because it's happening behind the scenes. It's happening at such a profoundly deep level that, and it's separated. Like, you don't, it's not something we access to, which is why hypnotherapy is great, because it is a way to go into your subconscious. And so, why I'm saying all this is that when we continue these cycles out with other people and have these really horrible relationships, even our own relationship attachment styles, all of those things are based off of programming that we have, that prime based programming that we received as children. And so, where does the hypnotherapy come into play here? Okay, so I've been doing the healing work for years, and although I obviously think it's deeply important to do the healing work and to continue to do the healing work, which I always do, hypnotherapy is such an excellent modality to use side by side with other healing modalities. And the reason I say that is because when we do healing work allows us to uncover things. It allows us to find the wounds, allows us to comfort that inner child and heal those things. But the reality is that even all that healing work might not necessarily get to the core belief systems that we have, the limited beliefs, the base programming, all that stuff. We might not ever be able to access that. And even if we do, it takes a long time to do that, to create new neural pathways in our brains, to create new roadmaps and new systems. A new belief system takes time, especially because our unconscious mind is constantly blocking those new belief systems. So even though I might actively be trying to create new belief systems, here's the issue. If you have a very deep rooted belief system, like I said, those are all located in your unconscious. So I can be actively saying, I I want to have only relationships with healthy people who are aware and have done healing work and who are not narcissists. And I can say all of those things and heal and learn my self-worth and things like that. But if there's some beliefs, some core beliefs that are in my unconscious, deep within my unconscious, they're going to hold me back from achieving all that stuff. And the reason I say that, like, yes, we can access them by repetition over and over and over again and creating new neural pathways, but that takes time. And yes, we should keep doing that because it helps us support our growth and expansion and creating these new patterns within us. But hypnotherapy is a way to bypass all of that. And I wouldn't say bypass because it's not that you're omitting all those things, because I think those things are really important as well. But hypnotherapy is a way to go right to the source, let's just say. And so, how hypnotherapy works, if you're not familiar with it, is that you are put into a very deep trance state and you're completely awake. And essentially, what ends up happening is that I can speak directly to your conscious mind. So, I will plant and put these suggestions into your unconscious without without your conscious mind blocking that, without it creating barricades and stuff like that. And the reason I say that is because oftentimes it's hard to create new patterns because the belief system we have in our unconscious mind, let's just say I don't want to receive love because I think love is unsafe. It's not safe for me to love. What happens is, even though I might not be aware of that deep unconscious belief, there will be other things in my conscious belief that will manifest to stop love from coming my way. So maybe I'll self-sabotage. Maybe I'll only choose the really crappy people so I know, or the emotionally avoided people so that I know that I will not, I guess, experience love or relationship with this person because they're so super emotionally avoidant. So they're never going to come to me, and I'm just, that's my way of staying safe, right? So your conscious mind will, like, governed by your unconscious mind, finds different I guess, like, external, like, surface ways to fixate or plan or navigate this. And so at at a conscious level, you might think something else of it, like, oh, what, like, I just, like, I like this person and they don't like me, or I'm choosing this and I can't seem to, I don't understand what's happening. And so we think that that we're going towards a thing that we want, but we're not. We're choosing things, you know, unbeknownst to ourselves or subconsciously not known to ourselves. We're choosing things purposely that are not going to give us the achievement that we want. We're not going to be able to achieve what we want, the desire that we want, because we're self-sabotaging. So I'm not sure if that's making any sense because I'm just like going on, but essentially hypnosis allows us to go deep within to plant these new, I guess, these suggestions and beliefs to create new neural pathways. So for instance, if you are someone who does have a reputation, or not reputation, but if you have a pattern of having these very toxic, dysfunctional relationships, especially if you've had a string of narcissistic ex partners like I have, going deep within your unconscious mind to reprogram that and to work with that to change your base programming that you had as a child because you witnessed the way your parents were in a relationship or because of your own relationship with your parent. Now we can go deep within and create a new pattern, a new one that isn't that one, a better one. And we can create a new pattern that says, hey, you experience loving relationships. You are always seen. You're always heard. You have reciprocal energy with these people. You always enjoy this open, beautiful, vulnerable relationship that you have with your partner. You are always attracted to people who want to give you love. You always choose the people who choose you back. So, when we put these suggestions in, we're creating new belief systems internally so that now you'll switch that energy in your thought process. And so at a conscious level, now you start to choose different things. You're not going to be drawn to that emotionally avoidant person anymore. You're going to be drawn to the person who is showing you love, who is showing you attention, who wants to be with you, who's choosing you. That person who makes it known and says, this is my offer to you. I want to be with you. Like, this is how changing the programming works. And so why I'm talking about all of this is because a lot of people like use hypnotherapy for other things, which is like incredibly valuable for, like, I've had clients that use it for different things, but ultimately as a healer and someone who works with energy healing and things like that and wanting to do deep healing, especially with my background in narcissistic abuse, recovery and survivors, what I'm offering here is a chance for people who have been in these dynamics to change your programming, to alter that programming so that you can finally start doing something differently, so that you give yourself the chance to be programmed and primed for a completely different energy, one that you've never experienced before because you've never let yourself. Because in the past, even when you've encountered those people who can give you what you want, you've repelled them. You've repelled them and sent them on their way because your programming only led you towards that one person, and it was unsafe to have someone love you. It was always unsafe, so you picked these other situations and scenarios unconsciously. Unconsciously. And so, doing hypnotherapy, if you're someone like me who's had a long bout of dating very awful people and having these terrible relationships, and you feel like you've wasted your time in your life in these terrible relationships that have given you nothing but heartache, or you're recovering from abuse, yes, do the healing work. Yes, see a therapist. Do energy healing. Do whatever it is that you need to. But adding hypnotherapy to that is such a beautiful benefit and can help you to create the new programming that you want. And you can work with whether you want to book an appointment with me or book an appointment with another hypnotherapist. It doesn't matter. Doing work with a hypnotherapist is so incredibly helpful for those of us who have experienced this, who has these deeply rooted patterns and base programming that is allowing us to choose things that are so harmful for us because of what we've witnessed and experienced. being able to have the opportunity to change that and create something much better is honestly like the best thing you can do for yourself. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Like, imagine you are drawn to these people who are loving and open. Imagine that for a moment. Imagine yourself living a beautiful life where you can connect with somebody who's not there to hurt you, someone who can give you space and also be vulnerable with you, who can embrace your vulnerabilities, someone who isn't going to use your wounds and weaknesses to harm you. Imagine that. Imagine experiencing that and having that. This is what hypnotherapy can do to you. This is how hypnotherapy helps to remove these limited beliefs and these patterns and conditionings that we have within us and help us to rewire, reprogram, and just redo. Redo the things that maybe we didn't have the best shot at. We didn't have the best role models, we didn't have the best experiences to give us the best possible scenarios in our lifetimes. But now we're armed with the knowledge of something different, and we have this opportunity to change things for ourselves. And this is why I was excited to do the hypnotherapy, because I really wanted to get deep in there and figure out how can we go. I've been working so hard, all of my healing, everything that I offer to people is everything that I've done myself to help me on my journey. And I would never be offering these things to people or talking about it if I did not see the incredible value to all of it. And so here we are now, where you have that moment to decide if you want to do things differently in your life. Now, the question is, are you at a place where you can say, yes, I deserve that? I deserve that, because you do deserve that. But you have to be in a place to see that and to understand that and to say, I'm going to grab that brass ring because I deserve this shot. And you absolutely deserve this shot. So I hope this was like a helpful video. I really just wanted to talk about how hypnotherapy helps for those people who have been in these situations and these very toxic, abusive relationships, and how it benefits in changing our base programming and those limited beliefs we have and all that stuff, and how we can create new belief systems, how hypnotherapy helps to create new belief systems. And if this is something that you are interested in and that you really would like to try, then please feel free to message me. You can book an absolutely free consultation and we can talk about what it is that you want, what's the pattern that you want to change, and see if this is right for you. If it's a right fit for you, there's going to be no pressure to book an appointment or anything like that. But honestly, decide if this is something that you want to do, and then take that step for yourself. Like I said, you don't have to book with me. You can go book with someone else, but I definitely recommend you, if you're someone like me who has constantly chosen the wrong people in life, then I cannot begin to tell you how helpful hypnotherapy will be for you. 100%. It will be so helpful to shift your patterns and your thought systems and your conditioning into something much better, something much more beautiful, something more open, and something wonderful that you finally experience and allow yourself to experience. So, yes, hypnotherapy as a mode to assist you to choose better partnerships. 100%. It's a very wonderful tool. I 100% recommend it. If this is something you're interested in, please definitely message me if you want to look it up, find more information about it, go for it. But I hope this was valuable to someone. I hope this was something that helped someone, or at least to give you some validation about what you've been through. And as always, please take so much care of yourself, sending you so much love and light. And that's all. Take care.